I've been following the Time's Up and Me Too movement quite a bit lately and was really happy to see how things were evolving, but lately something's happened that I kind of expected and was afraid of. It backfired. And I guess it had to backfire because it was something new and didn't have any exact boundaries or lines as to how far it can go. I don't know how familiar you are with the Aziz Ansari's case. If you are, great. If not, please pause the video here and check the link in the description. It's a very short sum-up article with a short video by the HNL host Ashley Banfield and her thoughts on the whole thing. Seriously, check it out. I'll be right here. Before I begin, I just want to make it clear that I am a complete supporter of the Time's Up and Me Too movement, and as someone who also makes films, I think it's also my responsibility to act upon it. Also, saying that men are a part of this problem would be a bit of an understatement, and one thing I haven't managed to really notice is people talking about how men should go about this stuff and how we can actually help. Now please, before anyone goes off commenting that it's really obvious as to how men should go about it, give me a chance and hear me out. Okay, back to the Ansari case. I agree with everything Ashley said in her open letter, and while what happened between Aziz and the woman who was the victim is probably only a case of a very bad date, I think we should still address some aspects of this incident. Firstly, I think companies employing accusers, or maybe even the Time's Up movement, should create some kind of a committee that would thoroughly weigh each and every case and then decide whether or not to completely cut the strings. At the moment, it seems that companies act very impulsively and will just fire anyone who's been accused regardless to what kind of an accusation it is. But that's not my main point here. My main point is this. The woman in Aziz's case went home with him after the date, and even though she felt it was wrong, she still decided to have an intercourse with him. And if we live in a society where women are afraid to say no to pleasing a man because they feel that that might be a wrong thing to do, we need to change something. And I think the problem lies much deeper than we think. I'm not trying to defend any man here, I am just trying to find a reasonable explanation as to why this is occurring. My generation of guys, and I think I can pretty safely assume we were far from lonely in this, have always been taught by the elders when we were growing up that women don't really know what they want, and if you're persistent long enough, they will eventually give in. Now, this does not apologize all the shit some guys are doing to women, and as human beings it's kind of in our agenda that we grow, learn and change. But if you hear certain things over and over again, after having a few glasses, this stuff comes out. A few days ago I went to a club, which happens exactly once every 2 years, and was astonished by how the guys behaved. The club was full of 20-somethings and I couldn't believe how pushy they were. One girl's boyfriend left to the bathroom and a guy came over, asked her if her boyfriend is boring and if she wants to fuck. I wish I made this up. Then she literally pushed him away and told him to, and I quote, fuck off, but he just kept talking and pushing until her boyfriend eventually came back and managed to get rid of the guy. Anyway, here's my solution. Men, if you have kids who are boys, tell them to treat women equally and that they do know what they want just as much as we do. And the only way of finding out what anyone wants, or more importantly, what one does not want, is to talk to them. Dialogue, communication. And if you're in a club and you see your friend being a dickhead, just tell him to stop. And same goes for your workplace. If you see a woman being uncomfortable in front of a man, act upon it. Talk to the guy, tell the HR, speak about it. Not being a part of the solution is being a part of the problem. In case you have daughters, stop reading them books about the princess being saved by a prince and rather choose stories that portray women as strong and independent. I know it's not many of them, but dig harder, do your homework, or just come up with a story. It's your kid and your responsibility. And women, you need to talk to us. As much as we and you would like, we can't read all of your signs. Not going away after someone tells you to fuck off is one thing, but expecting someone to understand how you feel where there's no clear indication can sometimes be a bit tricky. So teach the man in your life. I know my mom never sat me down and said, listen, if a woman says so and so or acts so and so, it means that she probably doesn't like it, so respect that. And neither did my father. It was a whole different generation, I know, but that's what we can change now. And this doesn't just go for the film industry. I've worked in restaurants, casinos, offices and TV stations, and they all had two things in common: people working and harassment. So I guess my main message here is talk to each other. I know it might sound like a pretty awkward conversation, and they probably will be from the beginning, but we need to make talking about these things normal. And guys, just because you've decided to go out and get laid doesn't mean you have to go to any length possible to achieve that goal. Don't be boys with dicks, be gentlemen with manners. Remember, manners make it man. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts on this issue in the comment section and share this with your friend if you think there's a point in that at all. And most importantly, keep talking about it.